Hi guys, welcome to the couch with Tina. Well, lately I've been reading articles and watching news, and it is very disheartening of the number of cases that basically humanity has changed into animosity. Well, did you know that the past few months during the corona period, there has been recorded a number of more than 5,000 rape cases? Now you know. And those are the recorded cases, not all cases. Many people have not been able to come out and talk about it because it's not something very proud to talk about. But today, we are hosting one of the ladies who has gone through rape a few years back, and she is free to talk about it. And Kavita, hi. And let's introduce Jane, who is our youngest panelist today, and she's going to talk about the reasons as to why people are being driven into getting into situationships with a little bit of older guys and probably ending up to the rape cases and murder and things as such. So, hi Jane. Welcome to Tina's Couch, and first we'll get the story from Kavita. Tell us your story.
Wow, apparently from my story, I think there is no difference
With what?
with what is happening, because you see, like the way you've said, the world has turned into something else different, and those people you entrust your life with, they end up being weird people. They just change all of a sudden, and you can never say why, because at times you find that maybe you're so nice, but then they just end up in something else, but you can never explain, you can never even say.
So what you're saying is that most of these acts come from people that we have trusted, people we have kept close to ourselves, and people that you can never even suspect.
Exactly my point.
All right.
Because for me, it was my past experience. It was how many years down the line? I can't even remember. Let's say 8 years down the line. I had this guy, I loved him so much, but then again I'm like, just all of a sudden after 1 year of dating him, he just turned wild, and you can never tell why. So he just woke up one day, came, visited me, and then I didn't know about him coming, but he just came. That was after several times I kept calling. Our communication went down. You see, when you're dating someone and you're having someone after you've entrusted them with your life, then you just communicate, and then again you find that the communication just drifts, inaisha tu hivyo.
During the one
kuongea during that 1 year, yes.
During the period of the dating, were you guys sleeping together?
No, because for me, I had this guy.
And this guy was that patient for over 1 year.
But you see, before having me on board, I told him, "Hey, boss, you want me? Yes. Are you willing to wait?" He told me he's willing to wait. I'm like, okay, fine. He knew I was a virgin and I was naive and I was.
At what age were you a virgin? In this day and era?
20 years.
Oh my God.
Yes.
Wow.
Are you shocked?
Yeah, I'm so
Look at
shocked.
themselves. You see, again, this thing, it depends with the background you're coming from. The parents, how you've been raised by your parents, the way you've been brought up really matters. So for me, I kept myself. So I knew having this guy, love is not about sex. You know, if you love someone, me sleeping with you does not prove that I love you.
Okay.
It is never all about sex. But then I don't know, for him, he thought if I give in, that will be me showing how much I love him. But for me, love is not about sex. But then after the communication was slow and all that, one day he just woke up, came, visited, then he found me. Then all of a sudden, it was a chaos. We were fighting because I was like, me, I'm not into this thing. I'm not even ready. You know, when you want to have sex with someone, you're supposed to prepare yourself psychologically.
Considering you're a virgin.
And then it was so weird and so tough for me. But then again, it happened. What happened.
What is it that happened?
He forced, you see, okay, when you're forcing someone into something that they've never done, for me it was a rape. He raped me. He took in my virginity.
Are you all my personal dreams?
That was very weird. I couldn't stand that, but then again, I really thank God that I overcame that after all he did, I was in a position, I still crawled back to my position to a point I forgave him and I moved on with my life, because at the end of the day, it is about my life, and you see, you don't dwell on the past, you just focus.
I'm still trying to imagine. Yani this guy didn't even lie to you ile venye tunadanganyangwa ati ni kichwa tu peke yake, and then kichwa ikiingia yote unakumbuka kuna mabega hapo kando.
Hapo kwenye hiyo story apparently. There was no that story. He just came and all of a sudden he became wild, forcing this thing, and I'm like, what are you doing? You see, for me, I was still naive. I'm like, boss, no. As in, and you see, you've ever have this person, you like, you love this person, you trust this person, and then you're like, okay, tunafanya. As in, unampenda, na bado kitu yanakufanyia, haubelieve kama ni yeye. So that's the thing. Yes. So he managed to do what he did, and I was like, okay, I couldn't stand that thing. I became so emotional. It really affected me for some years, because after that I became a tomboy. Ile ya kabisa. As in, you don't have feelings. You don't have feelings literally.
It's really, I can imagine, considering that many people's first time is normally more romantic, but yours was a forceful penetration, and
I even wonder what people say, fun words. So for me, after that, in one side I can say it affected me, yes. Positively, yes. Negatively, yes. Because for me, I'm like, after that scenario, I've kept myself. I've been like, hey, kama even though kunaendanga, I am not ready. So let me wait until I get that person mwenye anaweza ni handle vile niko. Because you see, the way I see people even sleep around, just because many incidents you find that if you love someone that you have him, but if you can't wait, we songo ukiendanga. Kama utangoja we songo ukiendanga. Because for me, what I went through, I cannot stand just having someone and then we start having what kind. For me, it's never about sex. If you can't trust me telling you I love you, and you see, they also say action speaks louder than words. Your actions really speaks. Do you care about this person? Do you love this person? Are you really concerned? And you see, if this thing makes you happy, please stick by it.
so let me ask you, after the first incident, which was a forceful penetration, when did you get around to maybe sleep with another man since then, or you've never slept with any other man up to date?
I almost have never slept with anyone. Because after that, I got this man who was really chasing after me, and I was like, both sinner feelings. He was like, no, you know they will grow and all that. I'm like, boss, it is not there. It is not there.
So you've never had sex?
I've had sex. Because you see, after there, I got this guy. He really forced. He was like, hey, I really love you. He was a nice guy. That one I cannot lie. He was a nice guy. But for me, I didn't have feelings. So I was like, wait, unanitaka tu ndio pia wewe unifanyie what I was done, what someone did to me. So I was like, okay, sawa. I told him, fine. I will take in, I will love you, but then you just know I don't love you. But then let me try. Like you're telling me, just try. It will grow. So with time, started communicating and all that. We continued, but then again, it reached a point. He told me, I visited him. Then after I visited him, I was like, you just want to sleep with me. So before he initiated the thing, I was like in for it because I don't want to feel
What you felt?
And you see, I'm not giving in because I love you. I don't want you to mess me up. So let me give in. So that was it.
And was the experience as painful as the first one?
It was painful, yes, but then again,
Was he understanding?
to some point, yes. He was a gentleman. He was a gentleman. That's when I can agree. He was a bit scary.
Okay, so tell us. So after the first incident, when did you get around the point where you could talk about what had happened to you, and who did you talk to first?
It has been a journey. Apparently, for me, it has been a journey because it has not been easy. See, when someone does that to you, you get affected emotionally, physically. Because for me, it was much emotionally because I was so tortured emotionally by this sense. I couldn't stand a man, and I was like, all men are bad. So my only person who I could talk to was my dad. But then again, I've never told my dad this thing. And I got several people who spoke to me, who helped me crawl, walk until I started now running my race alone. So I got this mentor. This one I can mention, Deacon Ban. He's been nice. He's been really helpful to me because every time I could meet him, I would just break down. Anytime we are talking, I would break down. I'm like, so he was like, Monica, you don't have to cry over your past because it happened. And you see, you cannot erase your past.
So the first person you ever talked to was the deacon?
I told him.
Okay.
And it was so painful because even him, you see, he's a man. He used to wonder, now, what do I tell this young girl? Until now, we can sit down and talk and laugh about it. I'm like, hey, boss, I didn't used to cry. Please stop it because I didn't used to cry.
Yeah.
So he's really helped me. Then all of a sudden, in our work, I got this mentor, a lady called Yvonne. She made me understand who I am. She made my self-esteem come back because from that scenario, my self-esteem was so lowered to a point I was like, will I ever make it? Am I really a woman? Am I really worth it? So after I got her, it was so easy for me. Like right now I can stand and say, Imaisha, ni kusonga ukiendanga. It's all about your happiness and you just focus with everything that makes you happy. You just focus and working on yourself day in, day out.
So, Kavita, tell us after, because you've just mentioned one thing, self-esteem and how you became a tomboy. Can you tell us a series of events of how you felt or how this incident made you be who you are today, or at that particular time, at that particular moment before you met your other mentor who helped you recover the self-esteem that was crushed? Can you tell us a series of events, what happened with you at that time after the rape?
Apparently, what I can say is after the incidents, I used to hate myself.
So you grew hatred?
Yeah, you end up hating yourself, wondering what people think about you, and then just hating men in general.
So self-hatred and
Hating men also.
men hatred.
Yeah.
Okay.
So which it is not a good thing, because you see, wanasemanga nyanya moja inaozesha zote. For me, after the journey that I've walked through with my mentors that I've had, I've just learned that you don't generalize things, and you don't just judge people after you've seen someone. You don't just judge them, because you never know what they've gone through, and you never know if the only thing they have done, it is the only option they had. So for me, my self-esteem was crushed. The only thing that happened is my emotional, because I'm so much emotional, so I used to cry daily. Like every time I think about the thing, I'm like, am I really worth it? I even attempt killing myself, by the way.
Suicide?
Yeah.
How many
It
times?
didn't work out. It was
Twice.
once. It was once.
Oh, once.
Yeah, it was once. However, I tried, but then it didn't work out. I was like, this life is not even worth it. But then,
So hatred, self-hatred, hatred towards men, low self-esteem, and any
I
other
learned
thing?
later, you're not supposed to judge anyone. So all my work with my mentors, Deacon Ban and Devon Ish, I really thank them big time, because they've really worked with me to who I am today. I can stand tall as a woman, be proud of myself, I even be proud of my baby step moves, be proud of any move that I've made. I can stand and say, anyway, I am a woman. I am proud of myself. I am happy that I am who I am. I am happy that I've gone what I've gone through, because it has really made me who I am. And again, through that, you get to have other strengths that you can even stand tall. You can, for me, I cannot stand when seeing things are going bad, or when seeing someone harassing a woman. It really affects me to a point I'm like, I can even go fight. I always feel bad. I can never stand someone harassing a woman.
That's really sad.
Very.
It's really sad. What this guy did to you was not very good. Jen, so like you've had Kavita's story, and she was molested when she was very young, and I understand that you're in your early 20s. What do you think you can say about what you've had today?
First of all, is to say very sorry.
Thank you.
And it's not fair for what she went through or what people are going through. It's never really an option for anyone to molest anyone. Be it sodomy, be it rape, no one is really qualified to be in that category. So her story has reminded me of the sequence that is going on of late. So over the news you'll hear rape cases are very high. Like I think a week ago's case of the young lady who was raped. It was really not fair for her. See, fair as in no one is supposed to go down that lane. So, but mostly you'll find that people really don't want to sweat, so instead of me going to work, I'll have a sugar daddy do something for me because my boyfriend can't. I want this, I don't have cash, my boyfriend can't lend me cash, so I'll just do this.
So what you're saying is that the most rape cases are coming from sugar daddies?
Not from sugar daddies, but I can say it's from self, like the young me. I don't want to work.
But then again, I can say something. You see, apparently, the society nowadays, it has really changed. But no one wants to work. Both men, both women. But you want to live a good life. And you see, if you do not work, if you do not, how do I put it? If you don't sweat, if you can't sweat for it, then you don't deserve it. You get? You got to work for it. And then again, I'm saying this in this essence. Unapata, just because I've seen you, Tina, rolling with a whatever, or you're looking nice on social media or on your lifestyle. Even me, I want to be like you. This goes down to you have to cut your coat according to your size. Live your life. Whether you're living it just live your life. As in, appreciate what you have. Because again, if you do not appreciate what you have, no one will appreciate for you.
So what you're saying is that many people are getting into these things because of peer pressure, and then wanaenda wakifikiria they're going to test some asali and it ends up in tears.
Exactly. That's my point. Because utapata sasa kama tuseme now, like that case she's talking about, that lady who's in campus, the other lady, that lady who was in campus who happened to lose her life. See, now that is a young lady. Instead of her focusing in school, I'm sure the parents have provided everything that she required to be in school. But then that happened. Why? Because I'm sure she had friends, peer pressure, oh, we can go out, have fun. Instead of you focusing on what, all this, inafaa mtu anafocus na kitu anafanya. When you focus on what you're doing, knowing that you suffer now, this brings me down to our high school life. Our principal used to tell us that law of compensation. If you don't pay for it now, my friend, tomorrow you won't live life the way you want. So you have to pay for it now for you to enjoy later.
I will tend to go to the older guys because they have it all. Sitaki kukwambia unipeleke Malawi na hata fare huna. So
ya kwenda Thika Road.
lazima ungoje tu nganya ili udandie ulipeles. So for me, I will go to the older guy because I will understand akona bibi, akona watoto, so I know my place. I know my place. I'm the side chick. I will do whatever he wants because he will give me money. You can't cheat on me and you are young, you're broke, and you don't have anything tangible. Let him have it all and he will give me cash. I don't want to get, I don't want to cry here and I can cry in Dubai.
You'd rather cry in Dubai than cry in the hostels.
Yeah. So I will tend to rely on the older guys because the young one can't give me anything.
So in what situations are these older guys killing people then?
They have this mentality of,
I own you?
yes. And you're young, so you know these styles, you must show me. So you end up breaking me.
Now, for example, you know, as I've been reading this story of the girl for last week, nimekuwa nikishindwa, which sex style breaks a spine? Because if it is beating, I mean, ukichapa mtu ndo umvunje spine, I think hiyo labda kama umetumia kitu sharp ama ulikuwa unamvunja na, you know, I still do not understand how that came about. What's your opinion, Jen?
People tend to be freaky. I do not condone it, condemn it, but just know your limits. You can be freaky, but in a very, very, very animalistic way, to the point that you have to break someone. So I do not know in which shape they were, to the point that the lady got broken.
What do you think, Kavita?
You can never tell that thing, but
I've been trying to really I've been thinking about it. I've even Googled the sex styles that can break a spine.
that is so weird. That is very weird because I'm like, even me, I'm trying to figure it out, but I'm not really getting how. Who does that even? Who does that? That was so weird. And from the story, that one, I can never, you know, someone who rapes someone, huyo tu akona tu unyama ya hali ya juu because ama sijui tuite pepo imemwingia ama nini.
We can say it's more of mental.
People nowadays, I don't know. They've gone crazy, they've gone mad. I can't really tell. Because you find that the things they are doing to a human being, another human being, it's really weird. Hata uwezi uwa hivyo mnyama.
You know, there's a time one of these socialites had came on national TV and said that as much as they get paid a lot of money and many people admire what they're doing on social media and the postures and the photos and the butt enlargement and the breast enlargement and all those things, there's a lot of things that these wealthy people do. I think they have some kind of fetishes. What do you think? I mean, you guys that have lived, you've lived in you've been raped before, and you're a young woman who, I believe you girls talk, yeah? So what do you think? Because the socialite, I don't want to mention names, but alisema the things that are done to them for them to get the money is animalistic. It's not something that they are proud of, but because it's for the money and the lifestyle, they are willing to take it. Is it that our parents have stopped normalizing providing for their children to a point that us as children are going through tough things, trying to please men for the money and for the lifestyle? I'm still not understanding the reason as to why. We can understand Kavita's story was from a relationship, because we've had very many cases. It is your boyfriend who rapes you, your uncles rape you, sometimes your fathers rape you. Yeah, I don't know. You've had it. You've read about it. Yeah. So it's the fathers who are raping, and most of these cases that the people who are related to us that are raping the women, but it has now diverged to the fact that the young girls have to undergo a lot of things and end up being raped. Yani unaingia room na mjamaa, and then you just remember this guy smells old, or this guy is too old. Sorry to say. So you remember this guy smells old, and you can't imagine him being on top of you, and you say no. And then at that point they kasirika and they're like, I've invested so much in you, so what is it really? What is it?
I think, as ladies, we should know who we are, and again, we should appreciate ourselves and appreciate what we have. Because you see, kuingia na hizi peer pressure and all that, inafanya we get messed up big time. So you see, like my scenario, after all that I've gone through, I'm like, I just became independent. I won't say, okay, I understand that men really never like a woman saying she's independent. But then again, for me, I had to stood out by myself. Like, Ilea, you don't depend on any, you just focus on your life. Hata kama unaenda kufanya kazi ya mjengo ndo ukule, you know this money is legit. You know, and you get to appreciate yourself. If you do not have it, you do not have it. If you're not in a position to have it right now, hold on, work harder. Ongezea tu energy kidogo, then tomorrow you will live life. Instead, unaona sasa kama such scenarios inafanya watu wengi wanakufa, you don't appreciate your own efforts, you don't appreciate yourself as a woman. It's really bad. Really bad. For me, what I can say as young women, we really need to understand ourselves, know our worth, and appreciate our small efforts. Even if you don't be carried by currents, because hii maisha na hii Nairobi kila mtu alikuja peke yake. Na ile siku yenye unasonga tunakuweka tukikuwekanga my. Now we forget about you. That's true. We get to focus on our life. So if you came to Nairobi, just know, as in, when you're doing something, know what is making you do that thing. Just know you, and know your boundaries, know your stand, have your own standards, and have your own limits. That's it.
So Jen, you're telling us that your generation at the moment are extremely lazy.
From our comfortable corner,
yeah,
we want to be spoon-fed, right from birth, high school, then working, nataka Netflix kidogo, nataka internet kidogo, nataka iPhone. So mostly for us, it's the pressure. I see you with an iPhone, I'm like, oh, I think next week I'm going to get one. So I go to a spot where I know I cannot lack to find a sponsor. There are so many branches you can get that spot. So I just go there. I just sip my wine, waiting for someone to spot me. Then when they spot me, it's over for the locals. Now me, I'm just rolling with the big ranges. So mostly it's because of the pressure. People should get to understand what you see on social media, that is not real life. They don't show you that this is what we go through when we are not with makeup. They show you this is what we have and this is what you don't have. So mostly pressure is what kills us.
Peer
I want to go higher than what I have. Today I have this loving girlfriend, this loving boyfriend, but tomorrow, no. I think I want to go to Malawi. I think I want to go to this. So I forget about I was raised up humble. I was raised up well, and that is what my parents wanted. Now this is what I want. I don't know how many inches of wigs. I want them to fill a room. So yeah, basically it's the pressure for us.
And do you think that this much pressure parents are not able to give to their children at the moment? Because I've seen when I was in campus, I went to a campus that had kids from every part of the country, of Africa, and you would find a very young boy at the age of 21 and carries an iPhone, the latest iPhone. Yeah. Just go, for example, go to USIU right now. You'll find the boys there are rolling in money. You know?
Yeah.
So unlike a boy who is in the University of Nairobi, you cannot really compare them. So what is it really? Is it that the parents, we as parents should be able to give our children all these things that they want? Ama, we should teach our children on how to work for the things that they want in life. What is it? Because, what?
You already taught us that we are not all equal.
Yeah.
But when I get to campus, I forget that.
Now, how can we as parents get into this? How can we support our children? Because if that is the kind of pressure that is going on, and I can imagine my daughter at the age of 19 sleeping with a man who's 40 years old.
I understand.
And to make it worse, my daughter at the age of 18 dies. I'm sorry to say, but I don't know.
It's tough.
I don't know. It's tough. Yeah. Are you guys looking at the consequences of these things and the things that you're making your parents go through? Because if I talk from a very bitter side, I mean, I can't imagine raising my child for over 18 years and then an idiot comes, sleeps with her and kills her just because of sex. What is it that men are not understanding? Is it a no? Is just yes? Or what is happening to this kind? What is happening to the generation right now? I'm so angry. Actually, I'm so angry at that story. I'm so angry of the stories that I've been hearing. And I want to understand. I am a young parent and I am raising kids. I do understand that our judicial system is very compromising or very lenient when it comes to such cases. So you as an upcoming young woman, who's a young woman growing, and you as a victim, what do you think of the sentences that are given to our suspects or these guys?
For me, I think these cases should be high profiled. So the bigger the crime, the longer the sentence or the tighter the sentence.
Is there a bigger crime? Rape and killing or just rape? Is there a difference really?
It's a crime.
It's still a crime.
This is the worst crime you can do. This is inhumane. So I think what you've done should be awarded to you.
what do you think are the reasonable judgments or sentences these guys should get?
First, let's check their mental stability.
Exactly.
If they are sober, it's over for them. I mean, how about we do it to you? You feel how the other person felt.
So they be raped
Or sodomized.
or sodomized.
That is, I think that would be the best payment for them.
What do you think? What kind of sentence should they be given?
Apparently, I don't know. I can't really say much, but you see, again, whichever the judiciaries are doing, me, I won't have any. For me, I do not have. Again, you see, it also depends. For me, I chose to forgive because you see, I cannot judge you. It is only God who will judge you. Again, I'm like, after you did all that, yes, you did all that you did to me, but then I've grown. But you see, everything you go through, it teaches you and it makes you who you are today. So you're supposed to take the wounds and use the wounds into mending other people's life. You see,
So,
if that
Kavita, what you're
happened to
telling me
I
is
can-
that having gone through this, and you can see
Apparently.
the fact that you have
I really get your
gone
point
through
of view.
this, and it took years for you to even be in this position that you are, to forgive that person who is still alive and moving around and maybe raping other girls that you wouldn't know.
But then again,
And you think that when these guys go to court, they can just be given, I have forgiven you, there is no problem. So that he can go and rape another woman?
no, apparently for me, whatever they are being done in the courts, let it be done to them. But then you see, for me, it happened once, and after it happens, I released it, and I even prayed God to give
If
me
it happened twice, let's say it happened, let's say you are a person, later on grows old, you have a girl who's still raped by the same person that raped you. Because you forgave the guy.
That's tricky. That's really tricky, apparently.
It's a tit for tat for me.
But no.
You see, Jen thinks that this guy should be sodomized or raped. Then they feel how it
Yeah.
felt.
I mean, it is not for me to judge. Let them be taken to court. The sentence they'll be given.
So if he did the same thing to your child, you would still forgive the guy.
Again to my child.
That's what I'm asking, because if you let this guy go like that and just forgive, he feels entitled to rape other people. But that's what I'm asking you. You've given him the power.
But
to
you
say,
I did it,
but you
so
see,
it's okay.
it is okay.
For her,
I
she
can be
forgave me, so everybody
forgiven.
else can forgive me.
Yeah.
Not everybody else will forgive you. Apparently, it is never like, you see, everyone is not the same. The same way, you see, like her, she's furious and all that. And you see, okay, for me, since I'm born again, I know, and I'm like, okay, it is not for me to judge. It is only God. And then
Don't
again,
you
after
don't
they
you
are
think
taken
that
to-
sometimes God forgives people for even having
God forgives even the worst.
Yeah, but if you took a revenge like tit for tat, as Jen says, don't you think God will forgive you as well for that?
No. You don't pay a revenge with a revenge.
It's an eye for an eye.
But
Even
then-
the Bible says it.
But then you see, you have to, as in, it is not up to me. Let him be taken to court. The sentence yenye atapewa ni sawa. Apambane na hali
So
yake.
what
But
happened to
for
the
me,
verse? Since you are born again, what happened to this verse? An eye for an eye.
No, ufai kulipisha.
If
Because
you kill
Mungu-
someone
Mungu
by a sword,
hatakulipisha.
you will die by a sword.
But not me killing you back by a sword.
Who will kill the person for
Yeah,
you?
wenye watakuwa.
So don't you think it, assuming, let's say, so he rapes you, you forgive, he feels entitled to go and rape again, and then hoping that he'll be forgiven.
That's what I'm saying.
Isn't it
exactly.
not too late, and something that you could have prevented? Maybe have you ever sat down and said that if you had gone ahead with this case and made sure that this person got the punishment that they deserved, like being sodomized or raped, and felt the way you felt, maybe. Well, thank you very much, Jen and Kavita. This was a very hot, I even got emotional. Having imagined what you went through, it's really sad. And still imagining that you have forgiven that guy, it took a lot of strength for you to forgive that person for the things that he made you go through. And as much as we do not know the ways that we can take or the routes that we can take to reduce the number of cases of what is happening to us, that's one thing that is really sad, making us sad. But anyway, please, I would really love to know, or what are your opinions in this case? Leave a comment and let's engage. I do not have anything much, or I do not have much to say about this topic. It's just sad, and it's just sad. It is just very sad. Let's hear what you guys are gonna say. Well, adios, see you next time, and